Oh, look at that. We are live. Hello, Facebook Live. I've never done one of these before.
That's not true.
Pretty cool.
Even
Hi,
for the cruise, I
Rob.
think. Hi, buddy.
Did we
Hey,
do it
it's
on
me.
Facebook? I don't remember.
It's Rob.
What's
What's up,
happening?
man?
Hello, folks. This will be fun. This will be interesting. I thought it would be best for us to kind of come together in this format to kind of do a blanket answering of questions, which of course we're all getting a lot of, and a lot of the same questions, rightly so. So we thought this might be the best, quickest format to kind of hit as many people as we can with as many answers as we can as we're leading up to our return, somewhat return to somewhat normalcy. It's been one hell of a year for all of us around the world. Um, I was just trying to remember the date that I had walked out of my office in New York for the last time. And it was very soon after we had put the JBJ New York show uh, on sale with Runaway. And, I remember, of course, when this thing called COVID was coming around, we were all being sent home for what we thought was going to be 3 weeks. And we thought 3 weeks later we were going to be brought back to our offices and some sense of normalcy would come back and we would live our lives. And here we are just over a year later. I have not been back to my office in New York City since. I don't remember what is even on my desk at this point. And like you all and most of us, whether it be, unemployed or less employed or, under quarantine at home and trying to get creative on how to entertain ourselves and spend time with our families and entertain them. Um, it's been a long run. And I think we're all, a lot of us being able to come out on the other side of it, I should say. And it's not over yet. And we all know that. But I think we're much smarter and much more educated onto what this all is. And I believe my opinion is that if it's done safely, I think a lot of us are able to move on with our lives, being smart and taking the precautions that are needed. But with that being said, I also feel that it's for everybody's psyche. I think it's kind of time for us to kind of start coming back together. Start seeing each other again and being entertained and entertaining and smiling again, even though it might be behind a mask, which even here at my desk at home, I have mine. Um, but I smile underneath it, but it's there. So anyway, we're excited, first and foremost, to be able to finally even have the opportunity to announce a trip was really exciting for us. And we're very thankful to John for even considering it at this point. For us, it was fun just even building this event and relearning all the things that we have to do in order to put one of these on. You kind of have your long checklist that kind of was just almost an autopilot in the past. But when you haven't done it at all, zero for a year,
Yeah.
you're like, wait a minute, what do I have to do next? Who's the first phone call? How many rooms do we need to hold, and so on. But you brush off that rust and blow out the dust, and here we are. And we were able to put this together pretty quick. I know for you all that are seeing this coming up, it is rather quick for us to announce and go on sale and actually do the event. We've done it in less time, believe it or not.
Sure.
But but we have an opportunity, and there is a window. And I know, speaking for us, we're hungry to come back and entertain and to bring entertainment back to people. I've seen many industries suffer through this process. What I can say that I've witnessed firsthand, entertainment, we've always been saying through this, is will be the last thing to recover. Even the hospitality industry as a whole. Restaurants were able to open up to certain levels at some point. Hotels opening up to certain levels at some point, but those tours were not. Because everything else has to get up to a certain level before a tour can ever happen. And there are tens of thousands, and I may be underestimating that number, of support team that help all of these artists move a tour around. That they've been unemployed, myself included, for a year. And so it's nice to see that there's an opportunity and a chance that some of my brothers and sisters of the touring world have had a really hard go at this, and so to see that glimmer of hope coming, and for these guys to be able to come out and get work and support their artists, and do what they do for you all, it's nice to see, and a bit of a relief of fresh air, for lack of better terms, to get some hope back. So with that being said, here we are. We've announced a event in which is essentially South Beach, Miami Beach. It's going to hold up to our Runaway tour standards, as they always do. We have a beautiful location. The hotel itself, the Lowe's Hotel in Miami Beach, is gorgeous. The property is fantastic. It's relatively newly renovated as well. Location, you couldn't get a better one. So we're excited about it. We're excited. And, this has been a moving target, as most things are in today's world of COVID. You have to adjust and learn new things and figure out how to do things and do it safely. And we are, rest assured, going to take every precaution that we can take, shy of us being all put into a bubble. But I think, again, I'm relying on everybody to all come together and be smart, and we all know what needs to be done and how to do it right. And I think that there is a happy medium of doing it right and having fun and not staying locked in under doors, behind doors, continually. So here we are. So I'm here to answer some of your questions. I'm sure things are going to pop in my mind as we go. But the short of it is, we will have various levels that we can take and precautions that we can take. Number one, big question that I see a lot of: do we have to wear a mask? So there's that tug of war, I think, between the state government and city government, in Florida in particular. Florida is one of these states that we all see, at least in America, is they're open for business. Sure, they are. But there's also a level of being smart about it and ways to do it and to do it safely. And, that being said, with the masks in particular, we're going to follow as many of the CDC guidelines as we can.
Yes.
That being said, masks are going to be required when you are indoors. Okay. The hotel in particular had asked when walking through the lobbies or going into the hallways or going to the elevators or going to your rooms, that you wear a mask. Common sense tells you to wear a mask, right? Um, During the show, depending on how we end up spacing the seating, again, I think I would still recommend everybody wear a mask, right? It's the smart thing to do. Why not? It will help yourself. It will help your fellow neighbor next to you. John won't be wearing a mask singing. Don't worry. So, another big question I've seen was specific to photos. Um, we're we're planning on doing the photos. John is willing to do the photos, but again, it comes down to being smart, right? I don't want us to have to do the old big piece of plexiglass that John is standing behind. I don't think he really wants to do that either. So what we will do is have a proper spacing between John and the guest. It won't necessarily have to be 6 feet. I don't think that's the case. But what I will say is that there will be no physical contact, right? That's the smart thing. Who shakes hands nowadays, right? That's a precautionary thing that you do. You just don't do it, right? Um, you know, you know, I'm an Italian from New Jersey. I'm a hugger. I'm a kisser. That's how you say hello to people. I can't do that.
I miss your hugs,
Right?
man. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. You got to be smart. You got to think of not only yourself, but that other person and those other people around you. So, again, we want this experience to be great, and what our Runaway experiences always have been, but we just have to make some adjustments, right? So again, there will be masks needed indoors. One of our events to be determined, but we're actually considering moving the welcome part of it outside. But what I won't do is have everybody outside if it's 110 degrees and humidity 120%. That doesn't sound fun to anybody. But of course, when we're in outdoor spaces, bad weather, that kind of thing. But outdoor spaces, I think they're definitely much more flexible with the wearing of masks. Another big question, and this has been a tug of war, even with myself, whether or not to do implementing a mandatory vaccine or COVID test, right? So I myself, who have been vaccinated, I've gotten my second shot. I will be the last person to tell somebody that they should or should not get a shot, right? I personally got it because I thought that is the right thing to do. I also thought for myself that I would be a hypocrite not to do it and then complain that I've been unemployed or my entire industry is shut down because, this is something that's necessary, right? So I did it. I stepped up. I did it. But I know that if I want to travel, say, internationally right now, I still have to get a test. No problem. I recently have traveled, got a test to go, and I had to get a test to return.
It's a quick turnaround, you were telling me, right?
Well, it is now. Look, in the beginning of this, it was number one. It used to be hard to even get a test, right? I remember that in the beginning, and then then if you were, unless you were showing symptoms, you couldn't get a test. Now, pretty much can get a test anywhere, and just about, I would say, every pharmacy is offering it, and clinics and hospitals and so on and so on. And they've got a wide array of them. So my tug of war, as I was saying with myself, was whether or not to require everybody to get a test prior to coming. And at first I wasn't going to do that. Excuse me. And what I have found through social media and through a lot of comments from you all was that was a really big concern. And so you all kind of changed my mind on it, Whereas at first I wasn't going to require it. We were just recommending it. But I think to put a lot of people at ease, and to take that extra level of safety measures, that we are going to ask everybody to go at your local place to get tested prior to coming. And what I have seen the norm typically being when it comes to travel specific is 72 hours prior to travel. So let's call it 3 days prior to checking in with us, is where you should look to be tested, right? And those, typically, I think I've had at least 8 or 10 COVID tests over the past year. All of which for me, I've been lucky, and for no special reasons, but I would get results 24 hours, maybe the most 48 hours after taking it. But we are going to ask that. And we're going to ask that you kind of bring that piece of paper at check-in and show. Some other steps that we will be taking, as I think probably everybody that's even watching at this point has dealt with already, is temperature check, right? We're going to just kind of hold up that gauge up to you and check your temperature. We'll check it at check-in. It will be checked prior to the welcome party and coming in. And it will then, the last time we'll probably be checking is coming into the main event, the show night. Those are quick, painless, obviously. And these are all standard things, right? You want to go to Disney World? They're doing the same thing, right? When it's funny enough, I'm actually kind of taking the lead from Disney when it comes to photographs. What Disney has started permitting as of like 2 days ago was that you can take your mask off now to take the photo. And so that's what we're going to allow, that your mask will be on while you're waiting in line, and we're going to distance that and so on. But as you come up, you'll be able to take off your mask, smile for your photo, actually see some teeth, put your mask on and carry on, right? So nobody wants to have their picture with John with the two of you wearing masks. So we're okay with that being the process. And again, we're just going to ask everybody be smart. We're not shaking hands. We're not hugging. We're not kissing. We'll do
That's the normal policy
kisses.
anyway.
It
really is.
Yeah. We're gonna,
sorry to break it to
really
everyone,
be
but
strict on that one. So
even before COVID.
Yeah. But if anyone's got any other kind of questions, let's take some, Ron.
Yeah, it's just they were really wondering about if they were supposed to wear the mask or not, and the distance between John. So you definitely made it clear. That's what it is.
And I'm hoping to have Runaway tour masks, because why not?
Yes. A lot of questions were asked about the airport, Miami International Airport. It's a 20-minute drive from the airport. It's not that far.
Yeah, it's close. Easy.
Just trying to think of some of the other stuff that we had. Let's talk about the cancellation policy, Matt.
Yes.
Please.
So normal cancellation for Runaway has always been, really, there is no cancellation, and all sales were final. And we have to do that because of the contracts that we go into. Every piece of it is, hotel rooms, parties are charged by head and so on. So we're out of pocket, now, right? And so, that's kind of why we've always put that kind of, lack of cancellation, for that matter, in place. With today being the way it is, we do understand that we need to take into consideration what if, God forbid, a customer was to get COVID and test positive. Well, thankfully, because it's become the norm of today with hotels, specifically even airlines nowadays, if you're producing, here's my results and I'm positive, those entities will in fact refund you. Therefore, they will refund us. So if within the essentially the quarantine period, if you were to get COVID, which would be that 14 days prior, if you are to, God forbid, test positive for COVID within that window of time, you'll need to notify us immediately. And that information is on your confirmations, or will be on your confirmations. And let us know, and sending that documentation that, here's the test that I was given, and here is the result. I don't need your social security numbers, or so forth. I just need to see your name and the printed.
Take a picture of it, whatever.
Take a picture, send it to us, and we'll work with you. And we're there to help and support you through it. But I know we need to have that kind of flexibility. What I will say though is I do know that there are parts of the world that you just can't leave, right? You can't travel. We can't travel to, and you all can't travel to us, and we understand that. But what I will ask is that you don't buy a package knowing right now today that you cannot travel and you cannot leave, your said country. We're asking that you don't buy a package hoping that you might be able to travel. Because if that still is the case, that you're unable to travel come that June date, I can't then offer the refunds at that point. And it's, it would be a shame for somebody to be out of money on just the hope that they would be able to travel. There's going to be more of these down the road. And as much as we miss everybody and want to see everybody, be smart about it. We'll work with everybody the best we can. But, when I say that, here we need, documentation, it's because the hotel is requiring documentation, and without it, they charge us. And that goes for the per heads of the parties and everything else we get charged. So, we're trying to be flex as best we can. And we feel that that's the window that we can be flexible.
Yeah. Michelle wants to know, I'm going to pop it up here. She's like, will vaccine cards be permitted instead of negative COVID test? I know we talked about it, so.
Yeah. Good question. Here's the thing, and I don't want to.
I think you still need a test. So, you can get vaccinated, you can still get it though.
You can still get it.
We're not doctors,
right? Exactly. Yeah. I might play one on TV, but I'm not really a doctor. I think it would be smart. I think it will be helpful to us, and helpful to your fellow fans, to everybody to take that precaution. Again, it's but it's funny how in America it was a big struggle, right? We all saw this. It was a big struggle to get everybody to wear these masks, and why do I have to wear a mask? It's my right. Well, okay. But it's not your right to get me sick, and I remember when I was younger, and I think it would have been the first time I ever went to Japan. And I remember seeing people wearing masks, right? And I looked at it as, wow, they're a germaphobe,
I did too.
They're worried about getting sick, geez. And then I learned it's not that they're worried about getting sick. It's that they are sick or they have a cold and they're respecting you.
Right.
It's respect, that they don't want to get you sick. And then you go, wow, yeah, that's a concept, because here's, the American mind going me. Whereas, here we are in Japan and they're thinking you. So it's something that, we've all gotten used to. So the point being is if you have the vaccination, is the card enough? I would still love for you to get that test, because I know I got the vaccine. I can still carry it. Am I going to get, violently ill? We hope not anymore because I got the vaccine, right? But I can still get it. I can still carry it. Let's be thoughtful to our neighbors.
Someone was asking where the actual show is going to be, the acoustic show. Is it indoors or outdoors? Do you want to talk about that?
Well, yeah, it's
Always subject to change, guys. Don't forget. But
yeah, all of this is subject to
yes, I want to
change.
remind that.
That's the lovely world of rock and roll, right? It could move at a pull an audible in the very last moment. But right now it is scheduled indoors. It is going to be inside their ballroom at the hotel. We pretty much have the entire thing, massive. Where they would normally set up a theater type setting for, I think their capacity of theater setting is like 2,200.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's big. It's
I
big.
didn't even realize it was that big. So.
Yeah. Well, especially when you take down those extra walls, right? Because we're getting all of it. So it will be indoors, but I'm confident in feeling good because of how big this space is, and we're a fraction of the actual capacity of what that room holds. So yeah, I feel good about it.
Yeah, just trying to think what else is here. You went over a lot of good stuff, Matt. A lot of good answers. So just
I hope.
I've
I
been
hope. Look,
I've been
I'm
with you.
excited, man.
Yeah,
I've been cooped up in my house for a year,
yeah,
not
yeah.
wanting to do something, and like I said, man, we've all been unemployed for a year, so
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, this is all new to us too, guys. This is, and that's why I said that, let's do like something like this and let's answer questions and everything. So,
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I love it.
yeah, I think you covered most everything. Is there anything else you could think of that you wanted to talk about? Just looking over the things, people are asking if it's going to be live stream. It is not going to be live stream. I'm telling you now. So, and then people are asking about future trips right now, right, Matt? There's nothing planned in the future. This is it. So.
No.
Things change all the time, but this is it. So.
Yeah, somebody had asked me not a week ago, did I think there will be a runaway trip anytime soon? And it wasn't even on the radar at that moment. And so I said, not anytime soon. And I think it was like 2 days later, this opportunity came up. And I said to John, you want to do it? People are asking. I mean, I get constant notifications of people asking, when is it? When are we doing it? Don't not tell us, but so here we are. We had an opportunity. We took it, and here you go.
A lot of people are asking about the size of the trip and everything. Don't forget, you see Bon Jovi in 25,000 seat arena. You see him in 120,000 seat stadium and everything. They're small. They're intimate. A lot of people have been on these trips and everything. So
yeah, for those who have been on the trips, they're pretty much the same as all of the other trips. Right?
Yeah.
For those who have not done any of these trips, it's literally a couple hundred people. We're not doing 1,000 people. No. So it's intimate. It's cool.
Someone was asking if kids pay. Everyone has to have a ticket. Yes.
Yeah. Everybody has to be, buying a package, whether it's, singles, doubles. We do offer a no hotel package, of course. I know there's a lot of South Floridians that are wanting to come. So of course we offer that no hotel.
Yeah. And then people call up a lot of times. They call me and say, hey, can I buy the tickets, over the phone? The only way to do it is tomorrow, runawaytours.com. And we have a single hotel package, a double hotel package, and like Matt just said, a no hotel package. It is the 3 days. First day is the welcome party and the check-in. The second day is the event with John Bon Jovi. Last day is a travel day. So there's nothing. A lot of people ask, when is John going to be there? He's always there the second day. So with us. So of course, runawaytours.com down there. So.
Yeah. Well, we are excited. We've worked hard and to get this together. And if there's more announcements to come, we will notify everybody. I should say that responses that I'm seeing, that yes, there are some concerns, but I've seen a lot of overwhelming. I can't wait. My bags are packed. And we're excited because as much as you all have been missing the entertainment, we've been missing being able to do it. And so work with us and to, help us to help you guys have a great time, and that's our goal is to make more memories, and put this last year behind us and move forward. So there you have it. So don't miss out. This will definitely be another one for the books, and it's the location itself is, like I said, it's spectacular. It's beautiful. It really is. So I hope you all join us. And if you have any other questions, we're here. So let us know.
Yeah. And people are asking what time it goes on sale. Right now it is 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. It goes on sale tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., April 23rd on runawaytours.com. It's the only way you can buy the package. It was right there, runawaytours.com.
That's it.
All right, Matt. I'm excited,
Cool.
buddy. Here we go again.
I can't wait. Everyone. Dust off the luggage.
My only thing is too, like my other suggestion before we get out of here, just make sure we didn't mention this. You don't need to have a fan club membership to do this package. You don't need, this is separate from the cruise too. So if you register that, you got to register on runawaytours.com. It's a free registration. Go in there now. Make sure you can log in if you've done other trips. Make sure your password's
and remember, right. It's not, your login is not your email. It's your login. Right? It's a login name or whatever.
Yes, it's a username, not your email.
Username.
Yes.
That's right. It's a username, not your email address.
So yes. All right. Cool. Nice. Good luck, everyone.
Okay. Cool.
Tomorrow. Thank you so much, Matt. Thanks for answering all these questions.
Man.
Bye, everyone.
All right, Rob.
Thanks.
See you.